Most ESG failures at leadership level are not caused by disagreement, skepticism, or bad intent. They're caused by shortcuts. The same shortcuts leaders rely on to make decisions quickly when information is incomplete and the pressure is high. Senior leaders rarely sit down and analyze ESG in a vacuum. They interpret it through heuristics they've developed over years of running their organization, rules of thumb that usually work well, but that fail badly in this specific context. One of the most common heuristics is substitution. When a problem feels complex or ambiguous, the mind replaces it with a simpler question that feels easier to answer. So instead of asking how exposed the organization is, leaders ask how much effort something will take. Instead of asking how risk accumulates, they ask how visible the work will be. ESG triggers this substitution almost automatically because it's broad, it's cross-cutting, and it's uncomfortable. So it gets quietly translated into something familiar: spend, activity, compliance work, something that can be assessed using existing instincts. But once that substitution happens, everything downstream is distorted. ESG starts being evaluated using heuristics designed for projects and initiatives. Leaders look for efficiency and quick signals of progress, visible outputs that reassure them something is being handled. The problem is that risk governance doesn't produce those signals. When it works, nothing happens. There is no feedback loop that rewards the shortcut. So leaders conclude, often unconsciously, that ESG is underperforming, unclear, or not landing as they expected. Another common heuristic is deferral under uncertainty. When outcomes are hard to model and consequences feel distant, leaders delay decisions until more information arrives. But with ESG, that information rarely arrives in a clean format. Risk accumulates quietly, without a clear trigger point, so deferral feels safe right up until it isn't. None of this is irrational. These heuristics are effective in many domains, but when applied to ESG, they systemically misclassify what it is and how it should be governed. The result is not active rejection, it's structural neglect, driven by decision shortcuts that were never designed for this kind of risk. So until leaders recognize that ESG does not respond to the heuristics they trust the most, they will keep misreading its performance and underestimating its role, not because they don't care about risk, but because they're using the wrong mental tools to see it. This is why ESG keeps failing at senior levels. It's not colliding with resistance. It's being filtered through instincts that were built for a very different problem. I hope you found this week's series insightful, and if you have, please do repost so that more people can benefit from the corrected framing of ESG. Next week, we'll be exploring the cost of failure and ESG economics. Until then, I wish you a wonderful weekend.